Horden pit went out 6.5 miles. We had conveyor belts from the coal face. We had a belt that run for the 6.5 miles. The belts, rubber matting type belts with reinforcement in, and they were joined together by what we call nylos. They were met so that they were like laced, and that the belt would be at least 1 yard wide, and the continuous through at either side of the joint, and then a metal spike was pushed through, and then you had your joint of your belt, and that's what you're finding on the beach now, being washed up. But these were put out to sea by the waste flight, which used to tip into the sea, and now they're being still washed up from 40 years ago since the pit shut. Soles of the wellies that we used to wear. When the wellies were worn out, we just left them in the pithead baths. The lads who kept the pithead baths clean used to fill a wagon up, and then that would be taken over to the aerial flight, and that rubbish was put in with the stones, and it was sent out to sea. And that's what you're finding on the beach now, being washed up. We're dinosaurs, us miners now. We've got to try and keep our heritage alive. Well, this banner was bought for the people of Horden. It incorporates all the banners of Horden. Firstly, at the top we've got Hands Across the World, then we've got a big picture of the pit, and then we've got Manny Shinwell, the Marra in the middle. The Marra is our symbol of what Maggie Thatcher did to this community, where the man got his heart ripped out because they took away the pits. And this is a symbol for all miners of Horden. And it's a memorial to the miners of Horden who give their lives up for King Coal. As I say, it belongs to the people of Horden.
I said, good afternoon. That's better, just to see you all in. Lovely to see your smiley faces here again on a Tuesday at the Acre Ring Social Club. Let's have some music, eh? I got sunshine on a cloudy day.
I enjoy singing, and I've always enjoyed music. Played in show bands, Blues Brothers bands, umpire bands, orchestra pits for shows, sort of right across the genres, like I said, from brass band to classical, some Wagner and Mahler and Schubert, so to the Beatles, to Tom Jones, Engelbert Humperdinck, right across the range. And music's such a leveller. Looking around the audience, and when you see them singing or mouthing the words or clapping or getting up to dance, you get a buzz. You know that you're providing something, that a skill that you've got can bring so much pleasure to others.
I got a sweetest song than the birds up in the trees. Let's hear you sing.
The old clubs, I mean, when they first started, it was mainly aimed at sort of, a lot of the old workmen's clubs were for miners. But with the demise of the collieries came the demise of the workmen's clubs. And so we thought, oh, get on board with the clubs. And they were happy because a lot of the clubs weren't getting very many people in. But then I thought, well, the people that are now into care homes or getting older, maybe isolated, maybe lonely, you know, having very little social life because it is an ageing population in County Durham. So having something like this on an afternoon, which is an afternoon out club, that gives them the flavour and a feel of a Friday or Saturday night in the club, what they used to have, is we thought was a good idea.
I'm talking about my little girl. Ooh, my girl. I'm talking about my girl. Yes, it's my girl. There we go.
Bingo has always been at the centre of the culture of workies clubs. Of the bingo start, you had to be quiet, you couldn't make a noise, it was like sacrilege if you got told off the bingo caller or the committee or even the people would shush you. So it was like sacred, the bingo rules. So we done that. Now with the bingo used to be the pens where you used to have just like a pen in there. But then came the invention of the dabber. Now the dabber, like a felt tip pen with a thick end.
Right, and as our custom, you all know the song. We've got the dabbers song. So Howie, here we go. Bingo, bingo, get your dabbers out. Woohoo! Bingo, bingo, shake them all about. Bingo, bingo, it's like we want to hear. When you get your dabbers out, you'll get the really big cheer. Oh yes, are your dabbers moist? And ready to go? Yeah. Nothing worse than a dry dabber. So here we go. Yeah, I'll get wrong with it. So here we go with your Winjaw. And everybody's dabbers at the ready.
Yeah, I'm ready.
3 and 2, 32. Doctor's orders, number 9. All the sixes, 66. 6 and 4, 64. 7-0, blind 70. 4 and 9, 49. 1 and 6, sweet 16. In your dreams. 1 and 4, 14. 1 dozen, number 12. 4 and 6, 46. 4-0, blind 40. Downing Street, number 10. 3 and 9, 39. 6 and 7, 67. 8 and 6, 86. 2 and 8, 28. 5-0, blind 50. There's lovely legs, 11. 6 and 1, 61. 7 and 9, 79.
Here.
Olives on fire. Lord Bingo is petrified. Olives on fire. All the bingo players are petrified. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Here we go then.
Yeah,
66,
yeah,
67,
yeah,
74,
yeah,
77,
yeah,
89,
yeah.
top of the shop, 90. That board is correct.
Horden. I'll always think of Horden as my home, always. I was born in Hordern. The thing is with Hordern, we haven't got the same type of people living in Hordern. The only people that's living is the very old people, and nobody wants to know them because they're old. At one time, if somebody was old or someone had lost his wife and he was living on his own, you never give him a dinner every day. You don't do that now. First of all, the oldest photo on the Welsh dresser is the day I was married. The next photo is one when my daughter was married, as a print of something connected with Egypt. And then there's the arches in Lear, and then the next photo along is a world famous clock. And then there's a photo of me, and the next photo, it's my uncle's grave. Now, no one in the family had ever visited that grave till I went across.
Well, this was my dad's wallet that he had during the First World War. His mother bought it for him, and it's thick leather, and she told him to keep it in his breast pocket to ward off any bullets to his heart. And I've kept it all these years. I don't think it's ever been used, although it looks a bit scruffy there. Well, this belonged to my father, and he was one of 3 brothers. And when his younger brother got killed in the Somme, he joined up. And then his older brother joined up. And the older brother, he came home with shell-shocked. He was a sergeant in the First World War. His younger brother got killed. His older brother got shell-shocked.
Yeah, I'm the young one here. Thanks very much.
This, well, I just found it in the drawer, in a tin, and I thought, oh, that's old, you know. I didn't know I really kept it. It's in with the birth certificates and the marriage certificates and everything. It's me, it's a bill for me flowers, for me wedding flowers, me bouquet and rosettes and buttonholes and posies, and it cost £7.13. Now when you say it, you think, hey, £7.13, you can spend that just going into the store, can't you, you know. But in 1948, things were still rationed, you know. My mother made the bins and the buns, and she bought the flour, but the flour wasn't really white, so she used to put it through a sieve, you know, to make the buns white.
All I know is my aunt and uncle, but where it was taken, I don't know. But it was in the late 1930s. Well, they just kept themselves to themselves. I mean, my uncle, he was a comic. In the family, he was a rare comedian, you know. He had 8 sisters, and he used to go around and see them, because those couldn't have any family. And all his sisters had about 5 to 6 kids, and he used to go tantalise the kids, make them cry, and then he used to go on to the next one. Because he used to just love being with kids, you know.
Every little clown has a story. Yeah. I just think it's the expression on the faces. They seem to be, you know, like, just saying, hello, Janet. I've always liked them. And everybody in here has got one when I pop off. They've all got them on all day. When I pop off, Janet, promise me I'll have that one. All right. Yeah. Because my granddaughters don't want them. Now I think they're lovely to you. They say they're looking at you. I said they're not, they're smiling. Lee won't come in. I'd send one of them around. And he's 15. Oh, we should get rid of him. Yeah. Oh, I said, don't be so soft. Yeah. It's a different generation. They think differently, don't they? They don't think like I think. Yeah. 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 And now they can't get on quick enough to go on that, can they? Yeah. 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 They're not interested in anything else now but that. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, they are the old pictures of my family, all of those. I have a son and a daughter. Brian Gosling, I just saw him on the picture, and I'm fascinated by his eyes, that's all. And I was thinking, and I've got to see all these pictures, and I've got that one, La La Land. I was fascinated by him, his face, you know, and I was thinking, he's wonderful, you know, the way he has that cute way of turning around. I thought he'll make it. This is when I first ever saw a picture of him. I thought it was wonderful. So of course now my daughter buys me a calendar with him on every year. We went to Leeds on for the day out, and we were in the market, and this cat was singing away and jumping up and down, and I thought, oh, I've got to have that. So anyway, went, and he said, well, it's the only one I've got left, and you can have it cheap, he said, because it's got no box to it. I said, I don't really care about the box, it's for me. I'm not buying it for a present for anybody else. And ever since I've had it, and when I'm down the dumps, just turn them on and just see for yourself how it cheers you up. Let's go. It doesn't take much to amuse people, does it? And with me, I'm quite happy with very little.
Chinese call it yi, intention, to do the best of your ability when you're doing something. So here we go again. Grasp the bird's tail, loy roll back, begin, and step, lift water.
My name is John Worthington. I'm 78 years old and I'm retired. Being retired, you're looking for alternatives. And I was on the computer and I went over to YouTube and discovered Tai Chi and started to do little bits of exercises in accordance with what they were showing you on the YouTube. And then I decided to send away for videos and what have you. And so basically in the first instance I was self-taught. I was getting better and better at it and beginning to really enjoy it. And because I was going to the community centre on a regular basis as well, it was noted that I was involved in this Tai Chi, and there was an initiative from the NHS which was to get people active over the age of 50, and I was talking to them about Tai Chi and they said, oh, that's wonderful. And so the NHS actually encouraged me to further my experiences and what have you. And I was given the opportunity of getting some teaching from a guy that did Tai Chi. I don't get paid for doing it, I do it as a community service.
Well, we had snow this time last year, didn't we?
All right. My wife Violet developed the dementia, which gradually got worse. She was very, very slow and unsure on her feet, and this is because the dementia is settling in on her, you know, and controlling her rather than anything else. So that's very, very sad.
This is Violet when she was quite young. That's her when she was very, very young, with her sister. Can you see them? That's when she was about 7-year-old on there. I blew it up from that little photograph.
So when did you meet Violet?
I met Violet when she was about 16 at the local HOP, the community centre where I actually teach the Tai Chi. That particular room where we're in now, and for the Tai Chi, was the dance floor for the HOP, what they call the local HOP on a Friday night, and that's where I met Violet.
Right.
It's the same place, and we met there when she was 16. So we're talking about a long time ago now. We're talking about 60 years ago. 60 years since I met Violet in that place. She cannot remember that though, can you, Pet?
No, I can't.
That's the problem. That's the problem. It's the memories now. The memories at the moment are of mine.
During the day I sometimes stand and do a little bit of meditation, you know, stand and do some postures and that sort of thing. It's a thing called Janjong. Janjong, stand like a tree, do these postures very, very slow and stand. You can't think about anything else other than the posture that you're in, because you're also breathing in and out, slowly but surely, in through the nose and out through the pursed lips. It just feels as if you actually just out of the world for that moment in time. It's just actually feels as if you are just mindful of yourself. A wonderful sort of feeling.
Right, they'll be okay, but we'll do this one over here and we'll try and see what we're going to do for the next, see. The garden, Gibson's.